Hey guys, I'm Emily Powers and today I'm going to show you how to paint this deer. It's going to be in acrylics and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it from the beginning all the way to the finished painting. And so this is the painting that I already did. I did it on a bigger board than we're going to be doing it, but this is the 9x12 Phoenix canvas panel that I'm going to use, and I got it on Amazon. I have never seen them in the store before, the Phoenix canvases, so you might only be able to get them online, but you can use whatever canvas you want. And my paint colors are titanium white, unbleached titanium, yellow, ochre, phthalo green, Ultramarine Blue, burnt sienna, and burnt umber. And my brushes, I have a 1-inch bright for the main background and a small flat brush that I might use when we do the deer for filling in a bunch of areas that are a little bigger. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but then I have a small round for the deer. And actually, I need a bright or a angle brush for the trees. There we go. So this is my 3/8 inch angle that I'm going to use for the trees. So, and I'm also going to use a watercolor pencil for the drawing and a sponge for the leaves. This is just like an old car sponge, but you can get craft sponges at the craft stores like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something like that. So here, let me show you. This is the reference picture that I got off of Pixabay. So this is what I'm getting the painting from. He's leaning a little bit. He's kind of leaning to the side, but I did it just straight. It'll be easier that way. I don't want to get the proportions off by tilting him. So I'm going to get the burnt umber and the phthalo green, and it'll make a really dark green. And I'm going to do it about, let's see, this, if you split it in half and split it in half again, it's right below the 4th mark. So that's what I'm going to do. So about right here. And I'm going to bring it out, and it goes down right there. This dark color is going to be near the bottom, but all of this is going to be a little darker than what we're going to have later, because we want to have a lighter color up at the top where the light's hitting it, and we're going to put lighter grass. We're going to flip some grass up in there, so I'm not going to worry about it being the light color that we want later, because I'm going to put that when we do that grass. I'm going to put the lighter color then. So I'm getting some yellow oxide and mixing in. I'm not worrying about going over because I'm going to put something back there right now. So I'm getting white with that color, and I'm going to put it right back there, because it's almost like there's another hill in the back, and we're seeing the green in the back, the hill. some of this darker color, mix it in with some more green. It slowly turns darker as you go up. We can't see it. There's all these clumps today in my paint. I don't know why I'm getting so many little paint clusters. And then I'm going to go with that really dark green that we had down here, the Phthalo Green and Burnt Umber. We put that. And then I'm going to start adding really dark with the Ultramarine Blue and Burnt Umber. And it's going to make like a really dark gray. I'm going to start adding that, or like behind where the trees are. And then we'll get it really dark because it's still kind of green. All back here. So I thought I would say, if you're new to my channel, if you like this video, you can hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can hit the icon down below with my picture on it, and it'll bring you to a channel where there's some other painting videos. And I hope that you try this out, because I really like this one. I mean, I keep saying that when I do these videos, because I want to do videos that other people will like. So I try to do ones that I like, so hopefully other people will like them. But this one's just really neat. I just really like it. I've only done one other deer, and it was a silhouette. So actually I did it twice, but you know, it was the same painting, so. But this one I think will be really fun. So I'm gonna rinse my brush out and blow dry this so that I can do the next step, and it'll be all nice and dry for me. So I'm gonna pause the video and be back in a minute. Okay, so now that this is dry, I'm going to put in some trees with my 3/8 inch angle brush. And I forgot to mention I'm using a fan brush for this too. All of the things I end up using will be in the description. So I would suggest looking at that before you start painting with me, because if I end up forgetting something at the beginning, then you would know what I'm using if you look at the description first. I sometimes don't always remember all the things I used, so but that way you will know exactly what I've been using, because it'll be all in the description. So I'm getting the gray that we mixed up here, the Burnt Umber and Ultramarine Blue, and making tall trees in the back, and they're going to be darker than the ones in the front. So they're going to be different sizes, and you can put in some with branches coming off if you want to. I didn't do that in my other picture. I don't think I'm going to put any branches, but do them different sizes. Some can be wider, some can be skinnier. And I'm going to try to do this part fast because the last time I think the painting that I did for my example was like, took me like 3 hours, which I don't know why it took so long, but I'm gonna try to do this part faster so we can spend more time doing the deer. And I think I'm gonna have to go over this another time with the gray because it's going through to the green that's behind there, but I can cover over. Shouldn't take too long. And you're going to want to make the tops of the trees slightly smaller than when they start, because the base of trees is always thicker than the top of the tree. So this part is going to be all filled with greenery, but you still might want to do that in case you do see some of it poking through. And try not to do too much of a pattern. You wouldn't want to do like, you know, a bunch of small trees and then one that's really big, and then you wouldn't want to have a pattern to it, because if you have two small ones and then two big ones, and then two small ones, and then two big ones, it'll look kind of like you did that on purpose and you were just doing it in the same spot every time. So try to do some big and then some small and another small one and then two big ones, and so that it won't look so, you want it to look a little more random. And I'm going even past the hill some because we're gonna go over that part anyway. And you don't have to do as many trees as I did. You could do less. You could even do more if you wanted to, make it look like a super, super full forest. But you don't have to do as many as I am, or as little as I am, depending on what you like. So I'm just gonna put a branch there. It'll probably be covered up, but you can, just to make them not all quite the same in case you see back behind there. You can do that. I'm going to add some water to it to help it to flow better. When you're doing lines, it can help to add water. You need to do these long brush strokes. And then you can do like one on the corner. Want to. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry a little bit before we do our next layer of trees and cover over them a little better. And I'm gonna do the grass. Whoops. So I'm going to get the fan brush, wet it a little bit, and I'm going to take some of the green and the burnt umber to make the dark that we had. And when you're using the fan brush, you want to add more water than you normally would so that it'll flick off better. Pretty good. So I'm going to go down here, maybe a little bit more water. It's not coming off as easy as I want it to. I'm just going to go down here and flick some grass. So I'm putting the same color down at the bottom where there's not a whole lot of light coming. The light is at the top of the hill. And then I'm going to get some yellow oxide with my green. And it's mixed with that color, so it's going to be more dull. But it's going to be a little bit lighter. I'm going to flick that above what I just did. You can go higher with this color because it is more of a grassy color. Then I think I'm going to add more of Add the yellow to it. Make it more green, or more yellow, I mean. Make it lighter. And go above that, I think I'm going to add some white to lighten it up. Put some of that up in there. And you don't have to don't do them too close together, or else it'll just kind of look like a blob. So space them out a little bit more. I'm going to go back with this dark green and fill in some of the gaps. And then, let's see, I got some more white with this, some yellow, maybe some of the Unbleached Titanium. I'm trying to figure out what color I used. I think it was more yellowy. There we go, that's more like it. So I'm going to water it down. And flick that at the very top where it's the lightest. You want to make sure you go over those tree trunks so that you don't see where they began. And the hill can have humps and things in it. It's okay if it's not completely going perfectly down. In the picture, it actually didn't even really have a hump in it. It was just kind of a straight line. But I think I like the rounded look better. I'm going to put some of that. And then I think I'm going to take some more of that green. It was more of the middle color. And put some of that. You can just play with a bunch of different green colors. If you have some pre-mixed greens, you can use it too. then I'll go back with the dark and make sure that I got some dark color down, that the light doesn't go too far into the dark. Okay, now I'm gonna work more on my trees. Rinse my brush out. Get the angle brush again. Get that dark color. Darken up the trees to where you can't see that green behind it. I'm not going all the way up because we already have the indication of trees and it was darker up there already. So I don't really have to go back over that part, and it's going to be covered with leaves. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is put more trees and do it to where one side has a lighter color. So I'm going to do a few more. So I'm going to put one right here. And then I'm going to take some white and make a light gray, and I'm going to put more of this blue in it because it's a more of a bluish color than the brown. I'm going to put that on one side. And don't worry about the grass down there because I'm going to put a little bit more grass right on top. The top of the hill. So they're getting a highlight this way. Oops. And it's okay if it doesn't look quite right up at the top because we're going to have those trees there. Making more of the darker color. Put one over here. And then I'm taking the light gray and blending it out. I might turn it like that so you can see the light and the dark. Put one right here. And then do a lighter color. We'll probably have to go back because you can see some of that green again. And then take the light and make a skinnier one. Another one right here. Make it kind of small too. So making it more of a gray instead of like a black almost will make it look closer to us. Of course, one side is almost the black color, but and I'll do that one right there. Make that a closer one to us. So we'll go back and cover over those again, but that was our first layer of those trees. With acrylics, you have to layer to get depth and to make it look more realistic. My paintings really aren't super realistic, I wouldn't say. I mean, because I've seen paintings that they actually look like a photograph, and mine definitely don't look like a photograph, but I think semi-realistic. I'm gonna do some impressionistic or impressionist style stuff. Okay, so I went back with some of the greens I already had. Now I'm going to take some of my yellow, the green, just a little bit of the green, and some burnt sienna. Make like an orange, and then take some whites. And take maybe, trying to get like a medium toned orange kind of color, and I'm going to water some of it down. I'm going to lightly flick some of that into my grass. The reason I'm doing this is because there's some flower type things in there that they have kind of orange stalks too, it looks like. So there's some orangey color in the grass. But I don't want a whole lot, so I'm going to go back with some green here and flick over some of that. Make it not look so orange. And I'm going to take some of the darker green and put some of that. And kind of make it not so light. Kind of clumped right there, but it's okay. You can just make it like a flower right there. So now I'm going to get the orange and put it on the tip. And I'm just going to tap on the side. Make it look like some little flower type things. And they don't all need to be attached perfectly to a stem. Just tapping some of that in there. Right at the top of the hill, some flowers. You don't have to do that part if you don't want to. But there's like little orange clusters that I see, so. Okay, and I'm going to go back my angle brush and get some of that dark. And we're going to put it right along these ones, and then get the light, put it back over it, kind of blend it out where they're together. So after I finish this, I'll blow dry it, and we will move on to, well, actually I need to do the trees, the leaves first, and then we'll do our deer. We're just like trying to jump right into the deer part and like skip the leaves, and let's just get on with the deer. Then some right there. And I'll rinse my brush off, and I'm seeing a little bit of bottom of that tree, so I'm just flicking the grass back over it. Okay, so now is one of the fun parts, the leaves. Leaves are actually pretty fun too, because you get to use a sponge for it. So I'm going to take my sponge and dip it in the water, get it all wet, and then squeeze out most of the water so that it's damp. I don't want it sopping wet, but I do want it damp. And I'm going to actually take some of this dark gray for the trees that we've been using, and tap. I got some of the burnt sienna with it. You don't want burnt sienna with it. So it's dark, and I can kind of swirl it in to cover better. You're going to put some other colors on top, so you're not going to see back here very much. I'm just going to cover it. And these leaves. There's some down here. It goes up, and there's some. You don't want to do it just straight across. That would look kind of unnatural. So just kind of make humps and things in there so that it's kind of, you know, got some, the edges irregular. And then down here it comes pretty far down. Okay, so now I'm going to get some of the green and tap it in with the brown. And I'm going to put it in the areas where there's some green tints. Oops. There's some coming down this way. You can put the green in most places because it's still very dark. Okay. Now we'll take some of the yellow oxide with the green. And I don't want a whole lot on the sponge. I'm going to go in the areas that have some lighter color. I'm going to get some more of the yellow oxide because these leaves are really yellow. You want to leave some gaps of dark so that it's not all bright. And then maybe take a little bit more yellow oxide and some unbleached titanium maybe. Get some of that. And just kind of tap in some really bright but I'm going to get the burnt umber and kind of tap where I got some funny lines. Now I'm taking the side of the sponge that doesn't have any paint on it and kind of softening it up. A little bit. Okay, so there's our trees, and so we got all the background done, and really I like it just like this. I just like it. It's a really pretty forest. I think this is cool just by itself. So if you are scared to do the deer, you could leave it just like this and it would be like a super easy beginner painting. The deer is the slightly harder part, but You could totally leave it like this if you wanted to. So I'm gonna dry this, dry the leaves, so that we can draw our deer and paint it. Okay, so I decided I didn't like the way that it was going from like light suddenly to dark. So I'm just gonna real quickly put a little more of a graduation, or gradually put it down to there. So I'm going to get more of that dark and tap in there. Right at the ends. Okay, so now I'm going to dry it. So now that the leaves are more dry, I blow dry them with a hairdryer. So if you don't like waiting for the paint to dry, you can dry it with a hairdryer like I did. Acrylics dry pretty fast by themselves, but I like to speed it up. So I'm going to take a watercolor pencil and start drawing the deer out. So I think I'm going to start by figuring out kind of where I want it. I think I want him kind of right in here, this area. So I'm just going to start with his leg. It comes up and straight. And there's a little bit of a hump here where his ankle is, and it comes out, and there's another hump where his body starts, and then another hump kind of where his neck is. And I'm going to make his head kind of right. His little nose can go right here. And I should move him over slightly. And a little oval head. That. And that can come up. And then it goes down the other side. And there's like where his body comes. There's like a V shape right here. And then this comes and there's a hump where the leg starts, and then it comes in. There's another hump higher than this one, so it's going up. And then so it goes down this side. There's a hump, and it goes up and around where his other leg comes. That. And then the back side comes out and around. So these deer, the deer have long legs, so don't be scared to make them really long. And the hump for this one is kind of above these two. It comes back down and then it goes out. And then the other side of the leg has the hump here, and then it goes out this way. And this leg kind of starts this and comes up, and there's like a hump, and then it goes back in that, and this one comes out a little further, and then the stomach comes right there. Trying to see. I think I'm going to draw his face down a little bit more. I don't think it's quite so high. Okay, and then the antlers. Well, let's see, let's draw the ears first. There's just kind of a circular shape like this, and I'll define the shapes later when I paint it. And one antler comes out this, the other one comes out and goes a little higher. And then there's this antler comes out past the ear and goes up. And then there's this like a part that sticks out a little bit, and it keeps going up. And let's see, if I did it right, the legs should be the same size as the body is to the chin. So that's pretty good. And then the antlers should be just about as high. So come up like here, and there's a piece that sticks out, and a piece that comes back up. And then another piece that kind of comes out behind that, and then it goes down. There's like a little hump before you get to this one, the other hump that came out, and it narrows. That, and then this one comes out, and there's this piece that sticks out, and then back behind it goes up. It's a piece that comes out slightly, and then it goes up, cuts off, and then goes up. And it's got a hump, and then like another little hump, and then it goes down, hump, and then there's a piece sticking out. And that all comes out like that. There we go. And they're kind of face up slightly. It doesn't come out perfectly straight. It kind of goes up just a little bit. Okay, so there's basic drawing. And I'm going to take my little round brush, and I'm going to start on the face, and it's burnt sienna and some white. If I don't get the colors exact, it's not that bad, because this is the first layer I'm going to go back over. I'm going to do it on both sides of the face, and then get some white and blend it out. And the top of his head's kind of flat, almost. It's a little rounded, but. And then I'm going to make some of this gray that we've been using, the Ultramarine Blue and Burnt Umber, because there's some dark right in here. And I'm just going to blend it out. And it doesn't have to be blended perfect this time. I'm just kind of getting the colors in. And then there's some of this gray color on the nose area. And then it's very white where the mouth is. And then I'll just take some darker and kind of fill in the rest of that. And get some water when you're using these small round brushes. Okay, and then I'm going to take that dark and go here on the outside of, like on the neck part. I'm going to put some that dark there, and then there's some gray comes up, and the gray kind of goes down. Now I think I'm gonna switch to my flat brush, my small flat brush, because it's not covering a whole lot one time. So I'm gonna take some whites and put it in here. I'm just filling it in, not worrying too much about what it looks like. And then there's some right here. And you've got some of the gray going around. And then I'm going to get some of this color we had with the flowers. Get some of that. Put it right up under here. And it's not going to cover all the way right now, but the second layer will define it more. Okay, I'm gonna go and take burnt sienna. I'm just gonna turn my palette because I know you can't see over here. Let's see. And I'm gonna take the yellow ochre, the burnt sienna, and I'm gonna put it all along this back part. And get some water. And then there's white, the top of the back. And then there's the dark color underneath where his belly is. And I'm going to switch back to the round now that I filled in that big area. I don't know what kind of deer this is. I thought that deers, deers isn't a word, sorry. I thought that deer, when they get horns or the antlers, that they, their spots disappear. That's what I thought, but this one still has his spots, so I don't know. I gotta get some of my yellow oxide out. Again, I'm running out. So this one has antlers and spots. I don't know what kind he is. He must be a kind, either he's young or he's a special kind of deer that keeps its spots with his antlers. So I'm going to fill in all the legs with this color. It's funny, in the picture, it looks like this leg keeps going right here, but it must be an optical illusion because that makes it look like the leg that's supposed to be behind is on top, and I don't know why it looks like that, because there's no way that that's the way that it really is, because it's obviously behind the belly, but I don't know. Maybe light is hitting it a certain way that's making it look like that. I don't know. So the deer, that's in, sorry, I'm trying to think about what I'm going to say. I'm not putting my words together right. The deer has several different colors in him, but I'm just putting this one color down just to cover over the area so we know where we're going to put the deer. And there's a little bit of this color right there in the ear, and maybe the top a little bit. So I'm gonna get the white and fill it in. Okay, and then I'm going to take the dark color, and there's like, this is the inside of the ear, right in there. Blend it out some. Where did I go back and define it more later? So I'm going to get this one filled in. And there is dark color right here where it attaches. And then there's dark that goes like that for inside the ear. I'm not gonna worry too much about that. I would say the hardest part would probably be the eyes in this one, because it just took me a while to get eyes in the face. Took me a while to get right. So I'm just taking the unbleached titanium, and you can add some water to help it flow better. And then this one comes up this. And I'm not going to worry about shadows or anything right now. I'm just filling in the whole antler. For some reason, seems like I want to call them horns sometimes, and they're not. There's a difference between antlers and horns. And really, to tell you the truth, I don't know the big difference. I just know some animals have horns and some have antlers, but I do know that there's a difference. So if I call it horn, then just know it's an antler, but I just called it wrong. So take your time with this part. Don't rush through it, because with these small little areas, it can be easy to just go real fast, and then it doesn't look as good as if you would take your time and paint it slowly. So it's like I need to be kind of fast, just because I need to get it done, so the video won't take so long, but really it does need, you should take more time with it, if that will help you to make it straighter. So this one's got a piece coming off that way. And this antler is wider than this one. There's like a little piece there, and then it comes up. And comes to kind of a point, and then there's a piece there. And actually, I want it to be more even, this one. And then there's like a dip, and it goes up, and back out. To a point that's sticking out. Actually, I think I want to be a little bit, I don't want it to be that straight. So if you catch it when it's dry, you can take it off and move it to a different area. Out. Okay, so that's pretty good. I think it's pretty dry, except for the antlers, we just did that, but I think I'm going to move on to the next step. So the head, again, has the light burnt sienna color. I'm going to make a burnt sienna plus white and put that in the sides, and then add white to blend it out. The top of the head is white. I'm going to do that. This is where you want to be careful about where you put the colors and the brush strokes and things. And then I'm going to get the burnt umber, or the burnt umber and ultramarine blue. And put maybe a little bit of white with it. A little bit of it. And it's going, actually it needs more brown. It's a little too blue. Then I'm going to take the white and blend that out. Just a little bit of that dark. Right on his head, and then there's some more bluish color right underneath that. There's some blue, and I'm gonna rinse my brush out from all those colors and take some white. And there's some right around where the eye would be. And blend it out. And then there's some of that brownish, medium brown color with the, in the middle, there's some brown. It's not too dark. There is some darkness in there. Put that white back. Sorry if you're hearing cows in the background. That's, our neighbors have cows. And sometimes they must be feeding them or something because they're like being really noisy right now. Then I'm going to take that gray and go out a little bit. And take the white and kind of blend it in so it's not such a hard edge. And there's a little bit of like some of this Unbleached Titanium with some of that gray maybe. It's not white under, it's some different color under there. And then I'm going to take that dark, and there's these two dark like stripes almost. And then I take that dark again and go on the opposite side. Blend that out. And I'm going to put, let's see, I'm going to get some more of my ultramarine blue because I'm running out. And you want to get half and half with no white. Be really dark. I'm going to put the eyes gonna take that white and go put that over where the eye is. Put that over here. And I want it, this eye is a little more squinty than this one, it's more open. And there's some white pockets right up under here. And the gray is blending with it, so it kind of blends out. And let's see, the face is probably what's going to take the longest time to get right. And I'm going to move that dark over. And there's some dark color right above the eye. This deer has very unusual patterns, I think, on his face. Oops. He looks like he has giant eyes right now. It's kind of funny. You don't really want it super dark, or else it might look kind of like the eye. Looking at the picture, he's got, looks like some dark on the side of his head. Animals always look really weird before they look good. It's just something that kind of happens. They look really freaky looking. And then he's got a patch of white that light color right there. So I'm going to get the dark and the eyes back in. So I think I'm gonna make it go down more into the white. And this one kind of make it, I think what I'm gonna do, I think the whole face needs to be over slightly. So I'm gonna readjust that, put it back. Put that there. And really, I'm adjusting all these areas. Looks better when you get his nose in. So I'm looking, I think he needs some dark right around here. There's some dark. And the light hitting it right, or there's white for right under his eye. Okay, and I'll adjust the shape of his face when I do the neck. I'm looking at the picture, looking at this. Let's see, I'll think about it while we do the neck part. So I'm gonna go right here and fill that in. And then, let's see, it goes down more. And while that bottom part is dry, I'm going to wet my rag just slightly and go over the places we had the watercolor pencil. And I'm going to wipe that off. Okay, and then there's some grayish right in here. It's dark, so and then it turns into a light color. of a grayish again, right all through here. And then there's white against this part. And I'm just going to kind of make some stripes in the gray. And then there's some white on the other side. Doesn't have to be pure white. Can have a little bit of the gray in it, but and then there's some more gray along this part of his body. More gray. And then down here it starts getting to be more yellowish, but there is some white right before it turns. Okay, and actually there's some gray spots right up in here. More gray areas in the black. Some, it's not all full black. There's some gray in there. There we go. And then this yellow ochre and burnt sienna. It's a little more yellow than red. And I'm going to actually add some white to it. And it's going to go right up under there. And there's like a spot here and some here. And I'm going to get some of that gray, put it right here. There's actually a lot of different colors in the leg area, which is kind of interesting. Then it turns like to a light color. Right in here. Then there's some dark, maybe his hose. There's some dark right there. And then there's like some burnt umber in the middle. And there's some dark like lines right there. And we're going to blend them out a little bit. And then on this side, there's some dark, and it gets lighter. And there's some white along here. And then the dark comes up right here. And this is the golden color again. We're going to go over the feet with grass again. And I go with some light right along the edge. Just like a bunch of highlights on the legs. And this side. And then some burnt umber right here. It's like a crease in his leg. Alright. And then there's some more of this golden right here. Okay, then going to take, let's see, I'm going to take this color with, or take it on the back right here, and then I'm going to add some more burnt sienna to it, and add that behind it, and blend them out. And then I'm going to take this and, well, there's actually some gray right along here. It's like going on from that part. And then there's some lighter up here. And it's got some of this golden in it. Okay, and then take some of that dark and mixing in some green and some yellow with it. It's got a little bit of a green tint. Go right up under there. Right here. And right here. So I'm just trying to get it all blended and so that it looks, I don't know, I just like blending it out real good. It's just my style, I think. And then I'm taking the yellow, adding more water to it to flow more. Taking that dark, there's a dark area right here, right there, and I'm going to blend it in with the golden. So there's some of this like in the middle of the leg. And then some of this lighter golden color in the middle, or on the side, I mean. I'm ready to take the white and gonna go right up against that leg all the way around. And you're gonna blend it out. It's like a highlight. Like that, and I'm going to put some more dark right in here. Okay, and then there's some dark in this leg, and then there's some golden on this other side. Some more dark right in that corner. Go all the way down. And take some of the lighter. I don't want this light in the leg super far. I really just want it on the side as a highlight, so. And then take the dark again. And do a little bit in the middle, and then take the light, put that back right there. And there's also highlight on this side of that leg and on the opposite side. There's some, oops. And then what I'm going to do is rinse my brush off to blend it out. What you doing, kitty? My cat wants me to pet her now. She's probably saying, "You're taking too long, it's time for me." Okay, and now I'm going to do the face again. I think what I need to do is just put some white there. Along that part. And it out. And get some more dark. Put it on this side. And then put the eye back in. I think the other eye is okay, but this one wants to change it just a little bit. And that should be okay. And then I'm going to tap into some gray and just put a little highlight on both sides so that it doesn't look as scary looking. Let's see, I got some white there. There you go. Okay, so now for the ears and the antlers and the spots on the back. I can't forget the spots. So that green out. So there's white at the top and right here on the bottom, and then there's a little bit of bright sienna color under. Okay, and then the dark color again for inside the ears, like a line, and then a spot right there. And actually, it's a little bit more here. Okay, and I might just take a little bit more burnt sienna. Let's see. Right there. See that better? And then I'm going to take the white and put it here. Come out a little further. And put some there. And there's some like burnt umber right up against that. And then there's some of this dark color right up under there. That slowly turns to white again. And then the dark. So I can't get enough of this dark and I keep using it. And there's some right there. And then across. There we go. Okay, now for the antlers and the spots. Actually, I think I'm going to do the spots first because I know that I'll do the antlers. I might forget to do the spots. So I'm going to take some white and Unbleached Titanium and just do irregular spots. Top and then I'm going to get some of this mixture to do the spots down here. To kind of blend it out a little bit more. There you go. They're a little darker. And then the antlers, I'm going to do some dark right up under this. Get that white, put that ear color back. Just cover it up a little bit. That back in there. And then I'm going to take the Unbleached Titanium, or actually it's white at this point. The deer, or the antler is a really light color right now. There's dark under it. And then as I go up, it's going to turn Unbleached Titanium color. And there's a little bit of white right up against there. And then this side is burnt sienna and unbleached titanium. And I'm going to get some of this brown color to go in there and dull it so it's not so bright. Get some more unbleached titanium, put right along there. Actually, I'm going to see something here. I need some of this green. Put that back in. That was because the antler is small right here and then goes bigger. So there's some unbleached titanium along that part right there, and then there's some darker on the other side. And going to get this unbleached titanium with the brown or the gray that we've been using, and do that at the top. I'll go back and get that part right there, but I'm going to take this burnt sienna, start right here in this one, then there's the unbleached titanium, along that, and it is dark right there where it bends, and then there's some more set up there, and it turns gray right here, get some white, put that up there. And then some of this dark color, there's like this line right there. And you get that Unbleached Titanium, put it all along here. And there's like a little white highlight right there. And then there's white along here. And then the gray underneath. And I'm going to blend them. Okay, and then for these two that are sticking up, I'm going to get the dark color, put it right, let's see, it's too watery, sorry about that noise, that was, my dog dropped its bone, so hit the floor. So I'm going to take these two, and it's going to be really, really dark at the bottom, and then I'm going to take white and make it light at the top. I'm just going to blend it in. There we go, and then there's some more, this unbleached titanium right there. And earlier I needed to narrow this part. Just wasn't right to me. And then unbleached titanium along this part. Okay, there's our deer. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to sign it with my Faber Castell Pitt artist pen, and I want to make sure that its fingers width away. That way, if you frame it, it won't cover up your name. Okay, let me see if I can see that. There we go. Okay. Okay, so actually I need to do one more thing. I knew this deer didn't look quite right and I couldn't tell why. It doesn't have a nose. So you're just gonna take the dark color and put little things sticking out right there, and then comes out and around that. And then I'm going to take my white and put that back in right there. Okay, now it looks better. So I hope if you like this video, you'll put a thumbs up on it and subscribe to my channel so that you can watch more videos about painting. Bye guys.